What's going on, where you at? Your motivation guy is back, your friend, the one and only Keith Allen, here to bring you guys the latest and greatest tips and tricks to make you the best Fortnite player you could possibly be. Alright, so the preseason is finally over. This means that your arena points have been reset to 0 and cash cups are quickly approaching. So if you're like anybody else, like you want to hit the Champions Division as quickly and painlessly as possible. And so by the end of this video, guys, you're going to have all the tools necessary to make that happen. But before we do, it's time to get my favorite candy. What is it, y'all? It's that Bunch of Crunch. Yo, and let's get this going. Alright, so before we set you guys right on track to hit the Champions Division, we first need to take a look at the scoring system that is currently being used. You know, it's no question that Epic has been trying to make ranking up harder than it has been in the past. And so with the recent change making it possible for you to, derank or fall out of the division you're currently in, you'll have no room to mess around and really just be required to take all your matches seriously. And on top of this, you also need to reach 7,500 points instead of the typical 6,000 to reach the Champions Division. This is going to require some extra grinding and consistency to make sure that you don't come up short. For solos, when you start off in the open division, each elimination is going to grant you guys 20 points. And so once you reach the contender division, you're going to earn a little less, only just gaining 15 per elimination. In the duos open division, you're going to earn the same 20 points as you would in solos. But once you hit contenders, you're going to be only gaining 10 points per elimination. Lastly, in open division, trios, you're going to gain 15 points per elim and 10 once you reach contenders. As far as placement points go, there is a total of 185 points you can possibly gain across all 3 modes. And since 135 of these points can only be earned after the top 5 threshold, elimination points are really what's going to make or break your arena progression. Alright, so if you're struggling in arena, then we might have something perfect for you to help you improve. The legendary pro, Benji Fishy, is going to run an exclusive Pro Guides bootcamp. Alright, so you want to play with a Fortnite Pro legend, click the link now below to learn more. Alright guys, so if you've been keeping up with the top arena grinders like Claw and Bronos, you're gonna notice that they will almost exclusively play trios. This is because trios is by far the easiest mode to steadily gain points. Not only is trios the easiest mode to earn placement points in, it's also much easier to consistently frag out. You see, in trios, every division past contenders 1 will reward 10 points per elimination. With this being the same as duos and only 5 less than solos, it becomes transparent that trios is the way to go. It becomes significantly easier to rack up high points of eliminations the more people that are fighting on each team. Top trio arena teams will be able to consistently drop 30 bomb wins or higher, while these same advanced players will struggle to drop more than 10 kills in a solo match. And so this is the case for a few reasons, alright? First off, it seems like in solos, the players are just trying a lot harder and are just overall better fighters. This makes it difficult to avoid third parties and really finish the fights quickly. Solos are going to require your fights to be a lot more calculated in comparison to trios, where the environment is more laid back and chill. You can wipe a trio with minimum effort as long as your team is somewhat coordinated and is just attacking from different angles strategically, right? Not to mention that in trios, even if 1 or 2 of your teammates gets knocked, it's still relatively easy for a decent fighter to just clutch up and just stick the reboot and just really just keep you guys in the game and just avoiding additional bus fare. And so with all this being said, we strongly recommend that your guys are finding a solid trio that you can just grind and rank up with. But, if you're unable to find a consistent trio, duos is still a great option, but it's slightly less rewarding. Alright guys, it's the question of the day. Today, I want to know what rank you usually get to in Fortnite, and how long does it take for you to get there? Let us know your rank down below, and we're going to respond to some of your responses. Alright, so the open league is from 0 to 2,000 points, and it shouldn't be a huge struggle to really plow through. From opens 1 to 3, there will be no bus fare deducted for each match. And in opens 4, only 10 points will be taken. This means that you can really play however you want without being punished. It just comes down to, how long it takes you to break past the 2,000 point mark. We recommend that you play the open divisions very aggressively, and so this means that you want to be hot dropping whenever you can, as well as W-keying basically everybody in sight. Like we mentioned before, you're going to be taking only 0 or 10 bus fare, so that means you're not going to be setting yourself back from dying over and over. And since eliminations are very rewarding at this stage, racking up as many kills as you can possibly get in each game is what's going to send you to the Contenders League the fastest. Even if you're not so great of a fighter, avoiding engagements to play for placement points is only going to waste your time and really hurt you once you reach higher divisions. You should use the open league as a place to really tweak your fighting skills and really improve. If you stay at the same fighting ability as you rank up to contenders, you're going to find yourself getting destroyed by a majority of your opponents, and you're likely going to end up deranking anyways. Alright, so once you made your way through the Opens League, it's time for the most challenging part, guys. Grinding through Contenders Division 5, 6, and 7. These divisions start at points 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, and finally ending at 7,500 points, where you're going to be able to reach the Champions League and you're going to be eligible to compete in cash prize tournaments with the other top tier players. The Contenders League is definitely where a majority of players tend to hit a roadblock, getting frustrated with themselves, being unable to consistently gain points. The Contenders League is just much less forgiving, and it's going to require you guys to play consistently if you want to avoid deranking. Alright, so for Contenders 5 and 6, you're going to be deducted 20 and 30 bus fare each match respectively, and Division 7 is going to take a whopping 50 points. This means you're going to have no room to waste any matches, and you're going to need to play consistently in order to keep ranking up. Alright, so the best way to consistently gain points is by landing at a drop that, might be contested by one or two other teams that you can confidently just win more often than not. And so this is going to put you in this position where you're going to have a few elimination points under your belt off spawn to cover the bus fare, as well as a decent loadout to play the remainder of the match with, And so after you made it out of your drop, the way in which you should play next is going to really come down to how strong of fighters that you guys are and your teammates are. Like, if you guys are pretty solid fighters that won't die too much, playing with the WQ mentality is most likely your best bet. Like we mentioned before, guys, elimination points are what can really make or break your arena experience. A top 5 placement with 0 kills is equivalent of a 9 kill game without receiving any placement points. This means you could kill only 3 trios off spawn in under 5 minutes and get the same results as a 15-minute match where you're just hiding for placement. On the other hand, like, if your trio isn't the greatest at fighting, you're gonna need to play a bit more low-key. But just because you're playing on the safe side does not mean that you're going to be just avoiding all fights. Like, you should opt to play on the dead side of the zone for the majority of the match, trying to draw as little attention to your team as you possibly can. Like, your main goal should just be to look for fights where you can just have the upper hand. Lining up a 3-2-1 spray to beam, or even just kill one of the opposing team members is just a great way to initiate a fight that you have a solid chance of winning. Like, you just want to make sure, guys, that there just aren't any other teams lurking nearby that could easily third party you guys. It's just very difficult to consistently gain points in the Contenders League if you're just strictly playing for placement, right? Like, sure, you can gain some decent points by getting a top 3 placement, but if you aren't doing this in 4 out of 5 matches, the bus fare is going to catch up with you guys and cancel out all the points you just gained, especially once you're taking a 50 bus fare. One thing that a majority of players don't realize when trying to reach the Champions League is how the queues work. Once you're past 5,000 points, if there aren't enough players in your same division to fill the lobby, then you're going to be placed in a Champions League game. This means that the players are going to be better at fighting and don't really care as much about the outcome of their actions. You could potentially get grief by players who have nothing to lose since they're already in champs and are just playing arena for some fighting practice. This is usually, only an issue once it gets later in the season, since most of the people trying to hit champs have already done so. So leaving only a small amount of Contenders 7 grinders to be filled in with the Champions League players. And so the quicker that you can grind through Contenders League, the easier it's gonna be. It's just never a good feeling knowing that you still have some points to gain only a few days before a tournament. But of course, tell me where you at, some motivation guys back. Hey, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Also, feel free to leave a comment down below. Let us know what you would feel more interested in learning more about, all right? Reaching the Champions League can be a very stressful journey, but it's very rewarding once you finally make it. So if you use the tips that we showed you in this video, you're gonna be competing in cash prize tournaments in no time. Make sure to connect with me on my Instagram at Your Motivation Guy. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.